Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Everything in the arcade, everything on home computers, everything on handhelds, and everything on consoles. Welcome everyone to October 1982. We were last checking out The Hobbit, released on the ZX Spectrum in the United Kingdom. Wow, oh wow, what an amazing adventure game. Another one, well actually both games we played last episode, I could have kept going for a long time, but now we have to press forward to see our next game. Coming up next is we're going to the arcade to play Hot Shocker, an arcade game I'm not familiar with, so let's check this one out together. Starting with the advertisement flyer, which doesn't even look like a real advertisement flyer. It looks like a manufactured one, because no one could find the real advertisement flyer. It says Domino presents Hot Shocker. This one was from Italy. I do not know for sure if it had worldwide release or found in other regions, but I know for sure it was manufactured in Italy. And there's the arcade PCB. We also have the controls. This one is an 8-way joystick and then a jump button, but in my playtest, I wasn't able to get the jump to work. What in the world is Hot Shocker? Well, there's an example of the screenshot, and that's all we pretty much have. We have an earlier version, or the one we're going to Italy to play. It's time to go to the arcades and check out Hot Shocker. This is Bruno Di Giorgio. Domino made this one, and we'll get all the information right here on the front screen. Will the attract mode make us put our money in? Let's find out. There you go. E.G. Falaco. Way to go, E.G. And then engineering and design by Bruno Di Giorgio. All right. Dario Dudley, the world's most dedicated line man. Gerda, Gertrude, and Ginger, the Goonie Birds hotspot. It's like Pac-Man, but on acid. Woodley zooms past you. The hotspots short circuit burns, and then we got a telephone line. Don't run out. That didn't help explain the game very well, but it is going to go into the attract mode, and let's see. Okay, so there's Dudley. That's who we're going to be playing as. All right, let's just give it a shot. Even though I wouldn't have played this, if you think of all the other arcade games we've seen, I wouldn't put my money in this one first. Here we go. Let's put a coin in. And there you go. Push start. Bonus Dudley. It's 75,000 points. Here we go. Push and start. This is Hot Shocker. And there you go, 8-way joystick. I wonder why. Maybe because we have some diagonals, but you can see the controls are pretty simple. You move around on the lines, and it's kind of like we're playing another grid capture game, like a hybrid grid capture maze game. And this one we're just drawing in all the lines. This style of game we refer to as grid capture, even though this one isn't capturing many grids. You notice when I color, I'm not coloring in anything like Kicks or an Amador. It's just drawing the lines. So can we get all the lines drawn, apparently? But we have a limit down at the bottom. Now my button isn't working. I don't have a jump button. Maybe I have to pick up some kind of power-up for that one to work. And we got a little tunes happening in the background, but nothing super special. Not anything that's... It's almost like we're playing a very average game right now. Because, I mean, some of the really good arcade games are out there that you could play. Even if they aren't worldwide releases, we played everything, including the ones from Japan. But Hot Shocker is, yeah, it looks like it's, I know, you could call it boring Tempest because there's no shooting. It's not really a tunnel shooter. Oh, wait. Don't touch the fire. You'll burn yourself off the web. And bear in mind, Chiptune, we haven't seen Black Widow yet. We should be seeing that one at the very end of 1982. Worldwide release for that one was 1983. But I keep getting references in the chat of Black Widow, and we haven't seen it yet. I need to pay attention on the attract mode, because this is one of those... Oh, wait, we get a power-up. Nice. Can we jump now? What was the jump button for, then? Look, this is essentially the same idea. You get a power-up, and then you can move, yeah, and destroy everything. A lot faster than you used to. Wow, but even though the 8-way joystick, it feels a little stiff sometimes, but that's really being picky, because even when we played the Burger Time game, Burger Time didn't have like the most fluid controls. Yes, keep rambling from the future. I love it. What in the world? Whoa, cool minigame in the arcade. Very rare to see those. A few of the ones that we've seen so far have been Swimmer had a slot machine that you could play, but that was pretty cool. And it didn't really do a cutscene. It was essentially a QuickTime event. You just had to push the button fast enough, and then the faster you push the button, the more points you got. Then move on to the next mode. We're moving a lot faster now. But the same idea, just draw it all in. We've seen other games like a Wiping, Make Tracks. Those were more like maze games, but this one feels like it's doing something different, but not enough to really make it an experience that goes beyond the other arcade games that are out there. I mean, Donkey Kong Jr.'s out there. Donkey Kong's out there in the arcades. We're playing really good Donkey Kong at home, like Donkey King. And we even play better grid capture games at home. On the Atari home computer, they got a game called Jeepers Creepers that I would say is even better than Amadar. So with the games we played on home computers that play like arcade games, playing this makes me think, hey, I bet they could do this at home on the Atari home computer or Apple II or one of the other home micros we played. I still love this, though, because even though we've seen some arcade games that feel like it's pushing the next level of arcade games, this feels still like we're in the classic golden age of arcade. It's great. I didn't change any dip switches for this one, so we're just playing the original. All right, so can we put our initials in? There we go. Oh, the button does work. Why in the world was the button not? I'm going to keep trying the button to see if it does anything, because the quote-unquote jump button didn't do a thing. Yep, jump loads the letter, but how did we jump in the game? Maybe we have to get a certain power-up for it. This is incredibly slow to put your high score in. There you go. 26,000 points. We're at the bottom. All right, against my better judgment, we'll put another coin in. And go. If you didn't have a large selection of arcade games, it's okay. It is definitely not a bad title to play in the arcade. But it's not doing anything to push the limits of the other games we've seen in the arcade. This is the world where Zaxxon is out there in certain parts of the world, and Pole Position is out there. Don't want to touch the fire, just draw it all in. Manly's already thrown out a 3-star rating. Oh, I touched the fire and died. I know, I don't think we're going to see this later on any other ports. Or if it's ported, it's going to look close to Hot Shocker, but not a true Hot Shocker game or official game. Yeah, it's so easy to die if you touch the fire, but if you do pick up one of the like Dudley mascots, I don't know what there it is, that that derpy looking guy. There it is. That's our power up. When you pick that up, you speed up really fast, can draw on the lines, and destroy enemies. Oh, and you can even do half of one too. I'd love to know in the comments or in the chat if you ever saw this one. Never have seen Hot Shocker. Another title that manufactured in Italy, didn't come over on my side of the world. And you don't really die. Notice when you get hit, Dudley just wanders around. And what are we? What is Dudley? We're like a blue man. Yeah, same. Only here on the Multiple Arcade Machine Emulator. Oh yeah, after playing Satan's Hollow, this feels a little slower, right? Alright, let's see if the Attract mode has anything else, because I kind of got the gist. It's one of those top-down maze games or grid capture games. You're supposed to color everything in or change the color, and then you have a power-up, and you can turn the tables on everyone that's chasing you. But what's up with the fire? And what's with the theme, too? This is we're on electrical grid or something? There's Gerda, Gertrude, and Ginger, the Goonie birds, our never-ending foe, and then there it is. It's Woodley. So Woodley is our power-up. And then don't run out of telephone line. So the game also has kind of a timer that goes around the outside. Maybe it is. I don't know if I want to touch that one with a 10-foot pole chiptune. All right, putting a coin in. And go. Maybe that's why we've never heard of Hot Shocker. I would be shocked to play it now, and I am. All right, we move very slowly around. We're looking for... I already forgot his name. Our power-up. Don't touch the fire. No, the best Mario was the one we played on Triple Punch. The one who looks just like Mario, but he's running around punching all the enemies in the face. That was fantastic. Yeah, if it really is that. Maybe that's why we're only seeing this and it didn't have a widespread release. Oh man, he went away pretty quick. Let's move around the outside. The other thing about grid capture games is you feel a little bit of satisfaction coloring in the screens, you know, like you did with Kicks. This screen, you're not coloring it in. You're just drawing in the lines, so it doesn't have the same appeal. And we die. Or maybe it's just a bunch of ducks that are wandering on the screen. When we play games on home computers, we usually get more lore. And here in the arcade, lore is few and far between. We even get lore on our chess games. If you checked out the episode where we played the chess player. Charlie's very generous, throwing out a little above average, 3.5 stars of all the games you can play right now in the home, in the arcade. Yes, that's true, and we will see that one probably in a few years. Super Mario. I don't know what Super Mario is. We barely even know who Mario is at this point. Regular Mario. All right, there we go. Power up, speed through. It is a fresh idea that they switch it up, giving us a mini game, and the levels themselves. We went to the second level. The second level looks pretty much like the first level, so not too much there. And as far as moving around the grid, it does feel a little stilted, just a little bit, not too much. All right, let's see if we can make this work. Is he going to chase us? Okay, good. Looks like we're safe there. All right, so don't go this way, and then pick up the last one. There we go. Yeah, you play it a lot. If you enjoy these kind of games, the grid capture genre. Oh, here we go. Bonus round. Got to do it quick. Wait for it. Darn. All right, it's still all right. But as soon as they drop, it's like a reflex game. Pretty fun. But if you think of all the other games you can be playing right now in the arcade, oh man, Hot Shocker has a lot to contend with. So I'm actually looking over the chat, and I see mostly averages, 3 stars of all the games you could play in the arcade. I'm going to agree and say this is a fairly average, very average arcade. 3 stars across the board for Hot Shocker. Not shocking, not doing anything super impressive. It can be fun for a little bit of time, and it still reminds me of that single-screen arcade game that's classic. All right, and without further ado, let's press forward and see our next game.
Big plans? You bet.
It's time to go to the Atari home computer. This is Intruder. Let's check out Intruder, starting with the box. Oh, I don't know, Brian. We've already played Popeye here on the show. And we'll probably go play that instead, right? All right, so flipping over Intruder. If you look on the front, Intruder is kind of what the game is. It's a maze game, and it's displaying that very well for us by In-Home Software Incorporated. Flip it over on the back, and we have possibly the inside sleeve, not really the back of the box. Shows us our loading instructions, whether on cassette or disc, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's all we have for In-Home Software.
Come on. These days, it's my Atari home computer.
What else do we have for Intruder? Not to be confused with Intruder in the arcade by Taito that we saw in 1980. This is a completely different game. Oh, I'm sorry you missed it too, Amanda. I really enjoyed The Hobbit. Had a lot of fun and would have wanted to play more on the live show. It is another one of those excellent, excellent adventure games. There's the cassette you can pop in to play some Intruder with an example of the screenshot. Oh, example of the screenshot without artifacting turned on. All right, we have the manual. Let's see what Intruder is all about. You need 16K for this one on tape and 24K on disc. All right, so this is, oh my gosh, a wall of text. Tons and tons of story for Intruder. Essentially, the idea of the game is we're supposed to block enemy robots that are, with filing cabinets in the game and deactivate fusion reactors. So this takes place in the future where robots have run amok. Yeah, we have some hope. We're going to be moving around. We don't have, I don't think we have a shot. I think we're just moving blocks. We'll see what it's like. And then there you go. Breakdown of the mission summary. Shut down the power units. Capture the Berserk robot units. Oh, Berserk with a Z. No one sued them there. And then we use our joystick, Atari joystick, to move the robot to the nuclear units. And then it'll automatically initiate shutdown. So basically touch the nuclear power, turn them down. Use your robot to move the cases to construct walls around each mad robot. And the units that are captured will be incapable of any movement. We have different difficulties. Apprentice, Journeyman, Technician, and then Troubleshooter, and it explains everything of the differences between them. Yes, we need Isaac Asimov to show us how to play this one. The robots have gone crazy. Use the joystick to move the robot indicator to the desired level of difficulty, and then press the joystick button to play, and then like we saw on the back or inside sleeve, those instructions. All right, let's pop in and play some Intruder. This is John Cope and William Morris, published by In-Home Software at sometime at the beginning of October 1982. This one is on cassette that we have. Let's load her up with a C load. And then run. Actually, I want to make sure we don't blow our ears off. So this is going to be very, very loud. Or at least the game runs loud. Okay, that's a little bit better. And we've seen this before. In-Home Software did this. We booted the game up and it just blares music at us. Or sound. Not really music. They're just playing as many chords as they can on the Atari home computer. And then we have to wait again. So I fast-forwarded through that cassette load. Here on the Atari home computer, when you load with cassette, you can have games that'll take sometimes up to 15 minutes to load. And so we did the 15-minute wait, and now we're waiting again after that one. So I'm going to speed through that. Oh my gosh, it's still loading. I'm going about 600%. This means this is... Whoa, it's still loading. Holy moly, I can't believe how long... That was one of the longest loads we've ever experienced. So I'm running like a 600% fast forward on that. That means that this game would have taken probably 20 to 30 minutes to load, like in total, for you to play this. You could have watched a whole episode of All in the Family and then played the game. That's incredible. Yes, that's what it sounds like. We're just mashing all the keys down on the keyboard. All right, so just like they explained in the manual, you can do different levels of difficulty. It controls with the Atari joystick, which is kind of nice. We're going to start with Apprentice and then push our red button to go. Ooh, that sound. That sounds like some of the Crystalware games we've played on the Atari. It's going to generate it for us. It is random, even though the game is just randomly putting some blocks everywhere. This one is a top-down maze game, and we played countless top-down maze games. This one on the Atari 800 is the 18th one we played so far. All right, so I'm controlling our little guy over here on the left side of the screen. He's gray. Do I have a shot? I don't have a shot. Am I only supposed to move around? Okay, so the robots are moving as the blue characters on the screen. The reactors are the red. I'm supposed to touch the reactors and then capture the robots. Oh man, my movement is so slow. Can I move diagonally? And I've already been disabled by the robots. It didn't take long. Since it's tile-based, it feels like I'm moving, like struggling to move. I survived for 20 seconds. Apparently the developer knew I was going to take that long. So you push the red button. Please don't load again. Okay, it didn't. Good. Yeah, they're using sound effects that we've heard from other Crystalware games. Even on Apprentice level, we didn't do so well. Let's try it again. Pushing the red button to go in. This means we should be able to push blocks, which is a fairly new concept here on the show. I know, that was so difficult. Loads it in for us. Every time you play, it's replayability because you get a different maze every single time. I know, right? 30-minute load time. All right, so how do we move? We move blocks. Oh, wow, look at this. Oh, I can move multiple blocks in a row. Okay, okay. All right, let's do that. And then how do we block these guys in? I want to see how intelligent they are. I'm just going to work my way up here. Okay, I can move diagonally too. Shut down one of the reactors. So all you got to do is get near the red reactors to shut them down. But then you're running away from the robots. Nope, touch it. Deactivate it, and then you have to be able to work really, really fast to block. Look at this. Gosh, yeah, the robots are so quick. Now, video games that are pushing blocks, we've actually only seen about one other game where blocks are pushing. We've seen some games, we've only seen one other game that plays kind of like Boulder Dash, where you can, dig things out, and of course games like Dig Dug. But this one actually moving blocks around the screen. The only other game we've seen was in the arcade, and that was Pingo. So this is very, very rare to have this block pushing mechanic. It's not like a super amazing mechanic because in the arcade we've seen Ladybug, and then the other game Dorodon, which is flipping panels or spinning panels around. So it's the same idea. It's a top-down maze game, but the pushing block element we haven't seen that much. So while it's not performing very well, it's very, very slow. I like the idea. If the game performed better, maybe we can poke it or speed it up. Then it would be pretty cool. because look at this. I can move across. It's sluggish though. How many? Look at that. And you can move several blocks at a time. So it's technically not really a puzzle game. It feels more like I'm playing an arcade game, but I have the ability to change the environment up. There's been a few other top-down maze games that allowed me to like shoot walls and make changes like that, but this is another example of taking games that play it's too hard with the robots and making an arcade game you could play at home. These robots are relentless. Yeah, and L. Curtis B, we're gonna have Sokoban show up before in the year. So the official Sokoban hasn't appeared yet on home computers, if you don't want to count mainframe. Yeah, so it's very tricky, very difficult to play. It's cumbersome, but the mechanic though is pretty cool. Yeah, the little pattern sound we hear in the background is nice. I'm looking over the chat. I see a couple of 2-star ratings, which means essentially you're thinking it's bad of all the games you can play on a home computer. It's that slowdown. It's just very slow. All right, we'll go and stop it there. So I would want to call this not a bad game because of the idea. It's still a fresh idea. But once again, it is not implemented very well. So Intruder, I applaud you for doing something we've only seen with Pingo in the arcade, but the way that it plays and the slowness, there's lots of other arcade-style maze games or computer games you could play. Ah, Manly's going 3.5 as well. Very interesting, yes. Yeah, if it wasn't so sluggish, in the way that you could push multiple blocks, that was genius. That was great. And I'm sure if you worked out patterns to work with the robots, it'd be pretty good. But we were playing on the apprentice mode. In my play tests, going on higher level difficulties, it was almost unplayable. So I'm gonna have to go pretty low for this one. Yeah, I believe it's in basic as well. So we're gonna go 2 stars of all the games you can play right now on a home computer. Not because of the idea, it's how it's implemented. Nice job, Intruder, but better luck next time as we see other games of this fashion. All right, let's press forward and see our next game. Coming up next, going to the United Kingdom on our BBC Micro. Let's play some Invaders. This is Invaders by IJK Software. Let's take a look at the box. Nice. I wonder what game this is. This is for this version is the 32K BBC Micro or BBC Model B. I don't think there's anything on the back, yeah. Sorry, no back of the box. But it's obviously going to play some Space Invaders. Do we have anything else for Invaders? Oh yeah, we have the other box that you would have seen. This is available in 2 different models for the Model A or the Model B. If you shelled out a lot of money to play the Model B version, it looks a little bit better. All right, so this one, it marks our 25th game we played on the Acorn BBC Micro. And this isn't the only Invaders. I have a few more to show you too. All right, so let's start off first. Let's say you didn't buy the high-end model. You had the Model A version. Let's check out the Model A version first. This is IJK Software's version of Invaders. There it is, Model A version. And the other games we've seen by IJK have been 3D Maze and Pontoon, which is like blackjack. All right, so we can do a few different game modes. Let's just do a normal game. And then you can see, oh, look at the graphics. Love it. Move with Z and X and space to fire. Got it. I'm ready. And we're in. Look at that. It's almost like the low-res mode on the TRS-80 color computer. So they programmed this to run on the BBC Model A, the lower-end model, and then it's Space Invaders. Very, very nice. You have the thumping sound in the background. It's classic. I'd still say one of the best ways you can play Invaders at home is Avenger on the Commodore systems, because it just runs exactly like the arcade. But you still got to admit, this is very quaint, and you'd have a lot of fun on your BBC playing this one. Oh, yeah, right. Making it look like a cassette was a nice touch. Okay, so that's the Model A. Here's the Model B version. And this is a pretty penny. This is several pounds in England or around the United Kingdom. There you go. It looks like a cassette again. So here's the Model B version of Invaders by IJK Software. All right. Do we want instructions? I'm going to say no. Oh, pretty cool. We got a normal game or a specialized game. Let's specialize it. Here's type 2. So we can do slow missiles or fast. Let's do fast. And we can do slow invaders or fast invaders. Let's do slow invaders, and then we can do different bomb types. Let's do slow bombs, and then normal invaders. Look at all this. You can use the shields or not. It almost feels like I'm playing the options or variants that you can do in for the home console. Oh, nice. Oh, the fast lasers are excellent. Look at this. Firepower is real. And the different game options make this a slightly better version than the Model A version. Oh, so much fun. Yeah, still works surprisingly well. If this is the system you had, you would have a lot of enjoyment just playing Space Invaders. It's still that good. So far on the show, Space Invaders is close to hitting the 80th variant of Space Invaders we've seen up to this point. Yeah, this one is... No, not the 80th. This one marks our 92nd version of Space Invaders across all platforms. So there's 92 other games that play just like Space Invaders out there. Oh, you can change options too? Very cool. Yeah, the fast missiles is so much fun. I love it. All right, so that's Invaders, and that's the first one that we're going to check out. Of all the games you can play right now, I still say it's all right. 2.5 stars, still around the average range. It's mostly like your mileage of think of all the other games playing like newer arcade games and that nature, or newer shooters. So I'm going to say 2.5 stars of all the games you can play right now, whether Model A or Model B. Charlie's throwing out 3.5 stars, very nice. Oh yeah, the bright colors, man, it looks fantastic. But that's not all. We got a whole lot of Invaders. There also was Invaders by MP Software for your BBC Micro. Let's check it out. Starting with the box. The fast-moving, colorful machine code version. Doesn't this sell video games? There's no pictures. It's just text. Looks like software for your BBC. Maybe they were disguising it. You know, making it thinking it's educational for the kids. There's our cassette we're gonna pop in. Here you go. It's time to play Invaders again. This one's by MP Software at sometime at the beginning of October 1982. All right, here we go. We need a wall of text to tell us how to play Space Invaders. I don't think so. We're ready to go. Spacebar to continue. You're rewarded points for each hit. You start over with 3 bases, and the game ends when they have no bases left or lives left. Cursor keys move your base. Spacebar to fire your laser bolt. All right, let's go. Invaders again. Oh, yeah, 8 different difficulties. Sweet. Let's do 5. Oh, interesting. It's not... The laser, I guess since we did fast lasers from the last version, the Space Invaders shots actually are slower, like progressive. You can see them move across the screen, but I'm sure if I change the difficulty, it would make the shot go a lot faster. Oh man, this is still classic. So much fun. Now at this point, if we were comparing these Invaders games to BBC Micro, only this home computer, this is excellent. These are great arcade games, really, really fun to play at this point. But because it's going against and competing with all the other home computers that are out there, that's why I'm saying 2.5 stars. Because we played other games with more gameplay, higher quality, more polished work on the system. But if you had a BBC Micro, and this would be a lot of fun. You still have tons of fun playing this. This one and the last Invaders we played is still only 1 player. Hey, where's the UFO? UFO hasn't come to fly by. Yeah, the slow shots is a little bit of a bummer. But it's kind of not fair because we went from, you know, speeding up the shots, all the different game modes. Uh-oh, he's getting too low. Uh-oh. Oh, he dies. He blows up in the side of the base. That's awesome. This almost feels a little unfair, too. Like, as I'm playing the game, the shot moves so slow, and I do have multiple shots. There it is. Get that UFO. Yes. But you still find enjoyment and a lot of fun with this one. And this is kind of like splitting hairs. Which one's the better Invaders version? We still have tons and tons of Space Invaders games you can be playing at home, and tons across the board. This is our 93rd Space Invaders style game. I'm still going to say 2.5 stars of all the games you could play right now. Yeah, I know. Awesome shields, right? right, so this one was the MP Software version of Invaders, and we're not done. We have one final one. Here you go. This is Invaders by Superior Software. Is it superior? Let's find out. Here's the box for Invaders. Only on the BBC Model B. Nice homemade computer artwork. And Space Invaders are blowing up a farm. We have to stop them. Do we have anything on the back? No, nothing else.
Good morning, sir.
And I see lots of pretty averages ratings coming from the chat. Do we have anything else for Invaders by Superior Software? There's the cassette, and there's an example of the screenshot. Ooh. Let's pop it and play Invaders. This is John M. Dyson that did this one. Published by Superior Software sometime in the beginning of October 1982. There it is. 48 marching invaders are dropping bombs. We have increasing difficulty. We can move left and right. Notice the controls are all the same. It's almost like this is the standard right now to move left, right, and fire. Z and X. Oh, copy fires the laser. Okay. Escape exits from the game, and then you can... What? Joysticks can be used? That's rare on the BBC Micro. At this point, I believe it's the cursor joystick you could use. Sweet. All right, let's go. I'll be using keyboard controls. I didn't bring my joystick. There it is. Superior Software. This is the... we've seen Pontoon, Space Fighter, and Quest for Scarlet Letter, and Breckenridge. So it's not the same. There's a different Superior Software out there. Uh-oh. It doesn't like this? Aw. Error at line 900. We can't play Invaders on Superior Software? I don't like that. We will play Invaders on Superior Software, whether they like it or not. There's no errors here. So there's two different companies called Superior Software out there. This is not the Superior Software that brought us Quest for the Scarlet Letter and the Breckenridge Caper of 1798. This is a different one, only in the United Kingdom. All right, there we go. We got our controls. Ready, set, go. Oh, look how smooth that is. So nice. Oh, and the sound effects are excellent. I don't know how I missed the UFO. Now, while the Space Invaders don't look the same, this one is playing really well. Gameplay is ultra smooth, especially for the BBC Micro. Yeah, the detailed sprites is very impressive. Still so much fun. Amazing after all this time that Space Invaders is still good. Can we get him? Oh, we missed him. The shots are pretty quick. Oh, but you have to do the strategy. Take them all out on the left side, take them all on the right side, and there you go. All right, so we'll chrono work. Nice. Top score for space or fire. Remember, you can plug in a joystick, which sounds bizarre. Who had a joystick to play on their BBC Micro right now? Which rich kids had the BBC Model B and a joystick to play video games? Most of the kids were getting computers because they were expected to do homework or learn computing or things of that nature. All right, so this one is very good. We've still played very good Space Invaders style games at home. This one has limited options, though, considering all the other games that are out there on a home computer. So while it is good, I mean, it's a great attempt. It's still, we have other shooters across all the other home computers you could be playing. So since this is BBC Micro, definitely I would be rating this higher. But because this is going against all the other games that you can play right now, I still got to say the same. It's still 2.5 stars. I mean, we played Avenger, we played Space Invaders on the Atari home computer. We played different Space Invader style games that have tons of options. This one's still a one-player affair, looks the part, plays the part, it's good, but, oh, Curtis is actually throwing out 3.5. I see 3 stars, 3.5. Yeah. Yeah, it is the superior game to play right now on your BBC Micro. So there you go, there's 3 different invaders invading the BBC Micro. It's time to put our video game playing on pause and check out some more games on home computers, on Atari, on the arcade, on consoles, everywhere, all over the world. Tune in next time for Chronologically Gaming as we go to another computer game ported to your Atari VCS. And we might hit, we might stand, or we might split. That's it for today, and like I always say, no matter what the platform, Space Invaders will always be fun. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single